These are 16-ounce UV wraps. They come in all different shapes, forms. You can get from 20 ounce, 30 ounce, 40 ounce UV wraps. You can get animals. You can get Halloween thing. You can get inspirational ones. You can get all kind of different ones. I'm going to show a few of these. I hope everybody is doing well on this wonderful Tuesday. Keep being amazing. Keep showing up for yourself. If you catch the live, leave a comment. If you catch the replay, leave a comment. I like to meet new people, um, gain my community, to be able to do different and wonderful things to support the community, to show love, to be positive. So I will be showing off these UV wraps today. I will come back and show some sublimation items. I will show some DTF. I will show some screen print so that you can know the difference. But like I said, you can see that these UV wraps can come in all kind of things, from animals to cartoon characters to your favorite, say like sports team, to different Halloween themes, to like I said, you can get them in all kind of things. Butterflies, just all kind of different items. When I say like this, you can get, well, UV wraps can work well if you don't want to do sublimation, or you don't want to do DTF, or if you don't want to do screen print. Because some of them machines, you guys, I understand. Everybody can't afford them. They're very expensive. Welcome in, everybody. If you're in here, please leave a comment. I would love to see that, who's in the inside. But like I said, I understand that some of us cannot afford the machines to make these wonderful wraps. Sometimes we have to outsource them. And even if you have to, you can still outsource them and still be very lucrative about what you're doing. You just have to constantly keep showing up. If you show up every day, you're going to gain the community, you're going to gain the following, you're going to gain the support, you're going to see the people, you're going to know what's going on. Um, just like I said, we see through just how I'm showing you guys these wraps. It's many different things through these wraps that you can get. We went from butterflies to owls, to elephants, to flowers, to chickens, hello, to fish. How are you, Brenton? You know, like I said, you can have Halloween theme, you can have motivational things, you can have positivity. Everybody, you can have. I do have flowers. Hold on. Yes, I have all kind of wraps. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I lay down on this side so it's poofier. But thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, I have all kind. I don't just have, I try to get a mixture of everything to try to cover the bases. Because like right here, he was saying, do I have flowers? Yes, I get it's a lady on there, but it's flowers in there. So, or she, I'm sorry. But like I said, I have all different ones. I did not be biased to be like, oh, well, this is just my style. No, you have to get for the masses of people because everybody like a lot of different things. You cannot just stick with what your style might be. Your style might not be everybody's style because you might like leopard. Some people might not like leopard. Some people might not want cartoon or sarcastic stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And see, here go another flower one. So, like I said, I do have flowers. I've gotten them all. I promise. I try to cover my bases. You know, everybody's not gonna want dark things. Some people do. Some people want lighter things. But like I said, I have it all. I've covered my bases on it all. From inspirational stuff to, like we saying, okay, to Halloween. Every Like I said, you just cover your bases on different things that you might think the world would like. Halloween is a big thing for people. Some people like I get them all over. I don't have one specific vendor I get them from. I just try to, I'm going to tell you like this. With the biggest thing, if you decide to do this, find you someone who runs a sale. Hello, Angela, who runs a sale and get you some. Because I've gotten them, a lot of them, I've gotten where I'll tell you like this. I use TikTok. I see some of the vendors on TikTok, and then they'll send you a catalog sometimes. Sometimes I've been in the store and I've found some. Sometimes I've seen somebody who could be on Facebook doing a flash sale, and I'll get some. That's how I've did mine. I do not have a specific one person I get them from. I just try to find who is doing the best deal. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I promise. I can't just say like I get them from one person because I don't. I've gotten them from multiple people. Even off just TikTok, I've went with multiple people. But I will tell anybody when you're starting out, I'm not saying do not rush out and get a whole lot. Start with a, a good amount, but don't rush out and go get like 500. If you can afford it, get it. If you can't, don't go get 500. But find somebody that you can work back with multiple times. Realize how long it takes for shipping, depending on who you're going through. And see, do they have a catalog? See how they consistently run sales. See how they consistently say like if you're getting one right. See how much one would cost if it wasn't on a discount or a sale, and continue to just understand you're not supposed to totally always bounce around, but when you're trying to do this, you need to be able to get the stuff. And here too, here too. Like I said, I've had when I say like this, right, y'all, I've had where I could have had four people on TikTok. Then I had to transfer to Facebook. I might have found somebody here on YouTube showing it. I might have found somebody, like I said, on something else doing it. I could have went through the store and found the pack. I'm not saying it's always in the store like that. Usually, you're gonna find them on some social media platforms. I'm not trying to. I forgot. I shouldn't talk about some other platforms sometimes. But no matter what you do, just understand that wherever you decide to get your stuff from, just be patient with whoever will ship them off to you because it can take a process. Because if you're getting something from a foreign country, it has to go through customs. And if it's somebody, like if you're in Barbados or you're in Trinidad, yeah, some of them places it might not take a long time. And that's what I'm saying, because some of the people catalogs are so big, and if you order too much sometimes, they don't keep up with it unless you're on their regular live trying to get items. I am not saying that um it will not happen the way you want, but sometimes you have to take screenshots. You have to keep up with the stuff, because if you're getting 500 pieces at one time, who takes all 500 screenshots? Not too many people. You just write them numbers down and you keep on moving, and you hope by the time your package comes, you have everything that you're looking for in it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that some people can't do it, but to take screenshots of 500 pieces, that's a whole lot. So you're just going back off the numbers that you got, and you hope that you get the right amount of stuff off your things. So, like I said, I'm coming to show. I will be showing these again. I will be showing screen prints on here. I will be showing DTFs on here. I thank everybody who has subscribed. I thank everybody who has commented. I thank everybody who has came in the room. I thank everybody who will watch this replay. I will be leaving it up because, like I said, I've tried to find for the masses of people for things from Halloween to inspirational quotes to everything. I'm not biased on, oh, we just want autumn, or oh, we just want for the, professional people. Everybody needs some kind of rap or something on whatever you're putting it on. Because, like, okay, this is, say, a teacher's rap, right? And if we're looking at the water bottle, everybody, right? Now, I got a teacher who could look and be like, you know what? I was represented with my own personalized water bottle. Yes, you can find water bottles that will have the different color on the bottom. So then now you have the top and the bottom that matches. So, like, you can find some. See, and that's what I'm saying. Or even just say, like how I was using the example. When I say like this, you got people who know nurses. You understand what I'm saying? So let's look. Now you got something for the nurse. It's a sleek thing. And now you got a water bottle that lifts up, right? Lifts up, right, everybody? You can carry it. And there you go. So that's why I personally do not just get one thing. Like I said, it's different things on teacher wise, nurses, Halloween, Christmas, inspirational things, uplifting, music. Let's look. You can know a band teacher, you can know a good pianist, you can know somebody who just love music. They might not even be a person who play. They just love music. And look, you can create a whole thing. If you was a baseball, softball mom, even though I say baseball, but still, baseball dad. See? And that's what I'm saying. Then you got the sports teams. I'm not personally saying that everybody, that's their team. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we got the sports teams. Right. And that's what I'm saying. You got the sports teams. I need all of them, but I picked a few when I first was doing this. I did not specifically. I tried to find somebody who watches sports more than I do, who knew what were some of the top ones, and they picked for me. I will eventually probably get all the teams, yes. But like I said, when you're starting off doing some of this stuff, You don't have to have everything in the beginning. You just find what would be good, because like this is a big thing. Everybody should do this. Self-love club. You should self-love on yourself and self-love on your community. You got people who are mothers, you know, mom life. The flowers, like he was asking. Even though I say mom, but even just say, I want everybody to understand. Right. And then even if you did not, even if just say, because he was, the one person was asking about flowers, you can literally just take this off and use that just for something as a flower. And then you can still use this mom part and this flower on a journal. So like you don't have this part and you can literally use it now as a journal piece. You use this on one thing and then you use this for a journal. So look, you've used this in multiple things. Or say you want to make some form of a keychain. You could take this mom part, use it into the keychain, and use these flowers on something different. And you've made 3 items out of this one little piece. I'm just giving some examples out for people, you know. Like I said, even with this, you can take this, and this can be in the journal for the empowering part, right? And you can take this and say, put it on a cup. You can take this and put it on a composition. So now you've made 3 different things out of this. This went on to, say, just this little piece on your tumbler. Say, that was your focal point of your tumbler. The writing went on a journal. And then this piece, right. And you can use them on books. Yes, they do not have to just go on UV wraps can go on anything that has a good enough back for it to stick. It can go on your computers. It can go on journals. It can go on, like I said, a composition book. It can go on your tumblers, water bottles, whatever you want to do with it. You can put it on so many different things. This is not a heat on thing. This is like a very sticky. When I say very sticky sticker, it will not come off. And it is waterproof because it's designed to go on tumblers. People have to wash their tumblers. So that's why I say it's a lot of different ones out there that you can get. Like I said, even this, you can take part of this and you can put part of this on a book, and you can take this part and, like I said, put it on your composition book. So when you're looking, you're taking this one and you're putting it on a journal, and you're taking this one and putting it on a composition book. So now you splitting this into 2 parts. Some of them you can split in 3. Even, and the reason why I say this is because, like, okay, say you have something and it's an awkward form, right? But you specifically, like, okay, I could use this, right? I could come around and cut, like, right in here, right, everybody? So, like, I could take the top part and put this on the front, right? And put her on the back, right? So now, I've cut this, because it was a 16-ounce wrap. I've cut this up. Yes, you see my size. But all the piece that I have right here, now I can take and I can spread around the bottom. So instead of it being, like I said, that original one, you do have to be very careful. So that's why I said in certain spots, because like I would not cut this one because it was so close. But with right here, you could come down and cut good enough where it would not mess up anything. Not everyone you can cut. No, not at all. Not at all. Because it's just not going to work. If it's too close, if it has too much to the design, some of them you're not going to be able to cut like that. Like, okay, let's just say this one. You might be able to cut through this, but with some of these smaller pieces, I want everybody to understand it could be very difficult. So you might want to keep this one together. You have to judge on the ones that you see to know how to cut on them and which ones you should not cut on them. This one, it was kind of easy because, like I said, if you look how I cut it, wait a minute, how I cut it was like this. So it came off this part. So I took my time very easily to cut through it. Make sure I did not miss. And see, that's the thing. With your wood pieces, this would be lovely with some of it. With some of the pieces. On the ones you could, if you needed to cut to reframe it on there. And on some of them, that might just be the centerpiece and you use something different around the top. Depending on what kind of wood pieces you're using. Because like if you're using what I'm saying is, like a circular one, you could take it right in the middle, and then like if you paint on across the top, or if you're putting bows or ribbons across the top and you're doing something different for the bottom, not all of them have to be cut. But if you know that you want to, say you had like, I want to find a different one. Say like, okay, this one. If you could cut through this I'm not saying it can, but like this still is even the same example. You could use this and then use some like how this pink is in the background for the top. You could use different flowers for the bottom. You could use different things. Or you could find certain words or butterfly things that you could put with it. But if you could come through on some of them, and some of these words you could spread all around and put over the whole wooden canvas or wooden pieces that you're using. But like how somebody in the comments said, and like I'm saying, not all of them are very easy. You have to be very careful. You need very sharp scissors. You need to take your time cutting. Not everyone is going to be able to be cut. Some of them will, some of them won't. You will know exactly which ones can and which ones can't. Because if it got a whole gray background or a whole black background, you can't cut into that because now you're losing. And I'll show the difference of what I mean when I say this, right? Like, okay, this one right here. So everybody understand. I can't cut this. I have to wrap this around whatever I do all the way fully. I cannot cut into this. But compared to other ones, like maybe this one, I could cut into this because I could take my time and go around this cross, come back up. I might lose a piece of this cross and then come back up and go all the way around that heart. Or try to come slowly around in between the heart and the cross right there and then go all the way back around the heart and the cross right there. But like this one, I can't cut. See, and that's what I'm saying. So when you looking, let's look. I got Halloween thing and inspirational all at the same time because, like I said, and I'm so glad I met you. Um, I hope you do lives. I will be following you. I will be coming to support. But this is what I mean when I say like you can cut some, and like we'll still use the example. You might not be able to cut this one, but you could put this one all the way across on a piece of wood, on a even just say depending on what kind of journal you have, you can use this where this powerment or powerful part, even though I know the worthy will look funny, right? But maybe you could cut around the little worthy and put that someplace else. But this could be the binder part, and you put this on the front and you put that on the back. Even like with this one, this could be the binder part, you know. Well, You got a front and a back. So you got the inspirational words and you got the girl. You know, depending on what kind of binder or journal or notebook it probably could go all on. Right. It could be a two-sided thing. Yes. Yes, you can use both sides. You got somebody who just got like a little calendar thing. This thing is only like a 16-ounce thing. So now you got a two-sided. So you can see the front and still see the girl from the back. If you did not want to cut it, like I said, when you're looking at this one, now you got the motivation. Well, this would be the binder of the book, and then you still got the motivation showing from the front and from the back. But that's why I said maybe with your worthy word right here, you try to take your time and cut around and get that to come off. But then you got the binder of the book or the journal. Right. And it's teaching you to love yourself. Yes. So any part of however you flip that book over, it's inspirational and wonderful quotes on the thing all the way around. So some days it might fall on the floor and you can see the blessing part. It's showing you every time you open it, you're powerful. When you look it from the front, it's telling you you're a queen. So why not? Like I said, some of them, no, you're not going to be able to do like that. You're going to need the whole thing for it to, because you really couldn't cut through this one. I was just saying some of them I've cut, some of them I have not. This is a great example of showing how you cannot cut all of them, how you cannot use all of them how you would normally use some. But then this is something like how I said, when you take it and you put it on a bottle, maybe, on a cup, maybe, and you wrap it up. Is it going to go all the way to the end? No, because this is a bigger cup than what the thing is. But it's to uplift that person, to show that person how strong and beautiful and how important and how intelligent and how wonderful and amazing and kind they are. Right. They the small ones. They not the super big ones. So that's why I said even with some journals, you could put some of these on journals. You know, they the small ones. This is the bigger one. So if you looking, this is 16 ounces. That's like a 16 ounce. This is a 20 ounce. So if you look, I got still more room. I can compare for everybody for them to understand. I got way more room still up at the top. So that's why I'm saying, because I wouldn't want nobody to think, oh my God, it wrap all the way. No, it don't wrap all the way around. Even with some of the 20-ounce things, depending on what size cup you're using, because this is a 30-ounce water bottle, it's not going to wrap all the way around. You're going to put this on a 20-ounce cup, not a 30-ounce. Because even if you used a 30-ounce cup, it would not wrap all the way around. That's why I said you can use some of these things where you can cut and then you fill it all the way in. The ones you cannot fill all the way in, you just use it in full how it is and continue to keep on uplifting, sharing. Like I said, if it's Halloween, Christmas, somebody like chickens, dogs, right. Sometimes it will cover the other part of it. If you ain't pulled that other part of the wrap off, now you done messed up your some 40-ounce cups. Like, okay, some of the 40-ounce ones, right? You can get a 40-ounce one, it will cover the top and it will cover the bottom, right? On a wrap part, right? You can get the bigger ones. You can. You truly, through some of the companies, they do what they do 30 ounce, they do 40 ounces. So, like with this water bottle, I probably would get a 40 ounce, but I would get all 40 ounces where I know because a 40 ounce would be bigger than this is. But I would get the 40 ounces because it would cover my bottom, it would cover my top. But I would only get ones on designs that I know I could come and cut a couple of inches or pieces off. And whoever gets it, whoever say gets like specifically this water bottle, if that's who would get something from me, I would send they extra pieces so that they could put it on whatever else they got, because they ordered that whole thing, not just me to cut off and keep it for somebody else. It goes to them. So that's why I'm saying, everybody. No, nope, it has not. Mm-mm. Lily. Right. You want to have the right size. You truly do want to have the right size. But see, my thing is that a lot of mine were not specifically going on that water bottle itself. It was going on like mason jars like this. So I wrapped the mason jar, and you see, it's no missing coverage. So if we're saying this 16-ounce one, and I'm wrapping it, there you go. It wraps all the way around. It wraps all the way around. So that's what I was using mine for. See? And then still, like I said, some of the ones, like even if I felt like this did not have enough coverage in between, because like I said, it do have a little gap on here, a little. But what I could do, since this is one that I could sort of cut, I can move it over just a little. But that little gap that you see, it wraps all the way around. Okay? I used it where, is this the cup? No, not that one. I even used it where I had a it's this one, everybody. So like I used it where, like I said, when we looking at my 20-ounce wrap, this was a 20-ounce wrap. I wrapped it all the way. Lily. Hold on. So when you look, this will wrap all the way around this cup. God bless you too, and thank you. And you see, it will literally wrap all the way around this cup. And this was a 20-ounce wrap too. It was a 20-ounce wrap. So it depends on what wrap you get. It depends on what you're trying to put it on. But like I said, you got some where you could go through and cut and maneuver, and you can place the whole thing all the way around perfectly to make whatever you're making look very beautiful and very pretty. But right, and you should always buy the right size. I wanted the 16-ounce ones. I didn't want something bigger. Or I wanted the few 20-ounce ones. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. But no, I wanted the 16-ounce ones. I truly did. Because I got so many plans for them, like I said, for them to go on journals, for them to go on wood pieces, for them to go on, just like I said, water bottles. I have so many plans with them. I did not want the bigger ones right now. But truly, if you got a 40-ounce cup, I would suggest some people, unless you're doing um from the south. Mine did not lift up. Like on this, like it's a lift to them. What I'm saying, when you pull in this, like, okay, if you don't rub them on very good, They can lift, but if you're pulling off very slowly, you can get it to push back down. Push back down, everybody, and it will stick in place. But most of the ones that I've gotten, it was not like how she's asking the question. Like the lift that you would look, that you would think that you would see, it would be because of the color that was left on when I pulled it up. But mine have not lifted off. I just took my time. Sometimes you can use a squeegee. Sometimes you can use your hands very good for it. Um, so it just mine. I'm not saying some of them cannot lift up. I understand some can. But mine, I didn't have any. And I wrapped this whole thing. And let me make sure I did not read. Oh, yeah, I probably can. I got a, let me see. Do I have an empty one? Okay, so like, I got this empty one. God bless you. But I do have an empty one. So, how she was saying, you peel it. I'll come back and do a demonstration on that, everybody. Okay? But you peel it. Like, you peel the back part off. You start sticking it on, and then you wrap it around. But I will come back. I will be using this one, and I will do a demonstration on that one. And then Black Girl Magic. So, y'all have a great rest of y'all day.